and welcome to Patricia's Real Talk. So in today's topic, we're going to be looking at one of the most tremendous and amazing topic that I've followed. If you are keen of the German car models, I think you would be so curious of what is happening in the car industry today in Germany, because it's not so much of a good story as it is today. And I just took interest and said I will try to also tackle this issue today as we open the channel, because it's an issue that is really like close to my heart, because I love the German cars. Definitely, I love that Mercedes-Benz, I love the BMW, I love the Audi, and I love all the German brands because they signify resilience. You understand? So, and we dive right into the program. So we are going to be talking about, is German's auto industry losing its global edge? And today I want to use Volkswagen. For those that will be watching this video, Volkswagen is VW, okay? VW, what you call VW. That's the model. So we are going to start a little bit by just looking of like where we have come from and where we are today. So for decades, Germany's automotive industry symbolized precision, engineering, innovation, and economic strength. Today, that same industry is confronting plant closures, large-scale restructuring, and intense competition from China. Volkswagen is considering cutting up to 100,000 jobs. Workers are protesting, and the future of one of Germany's most important industries is uncertain. Has Germany reached a turning point, and what does it mean for workers, businesses, and the economy at large? So pretty concerned, and we have to say that Volkswagen, you have to forgive me if you're listening this through English, or you are an English speaker, native speaker, or maybe bilingual. I have to be saying, or I will be addressing VW or VW as VW because that's a German name. That means Volkswagen, okay? So Volkswagen Group, which is VW, was founded in 1937 in Germany under the Nazi government's People's Car program, with the goal of creating an affordable vehicle for ordinary citizens. The original Volkswagen factory was built in what became Volkswagen, and the first major model was the Volkswagen Type Beta, designed by Ferdinand Porsche. And I have to make mention here that I have been to Volkswagen in Volkswagen, and I can tell you that the city is so amazing. The city where Volkswagen sits is so clean. You will love it. The life there is so amazing. It's so appealing, and the city is so neat. I've been there and I've been so impressed, and all thanks to Volkswagen. I took a number of pictures, some of them deleted, but of course you'll be happy to see them. Maybe scroll as I speak. Okay, so after the World War II, the company was rebuilt under the British supervision, and the beauty became a global success, symbolizing affordable and reliable transportation. During the 1960s to 1970s, Volkswagen expanded its lineup with models such as the Transporter, Volkswagen Bus, and later the Golf, which replaced the Beetle as the company's best-selling model. From the 1990s onwards, Volkswagen grew into one of the world's largest automotive groups through acquisitions of brands including Audi, Porsche, Skoda Auto, Seat, Lamborghini, and Bentley Motors. In 2015, Volkswagen faced a major Dieselgate emission scandal after it was revealed that some diesel vehicles use software to cheat emissions tests, leading to billions in fines and reputational damage. Today, Volkswagen is one of the world's largest car makers, producing vehicles under multiple brands and investing heavily in electric cars or in electric vehicles, including its ID series as it transitions towards a lower emission future. And so, due to these factors that I've narrated that the car industry is facing today, Volkswagen has not been left out. They have immense competition from the Chinese electric vehicle manufacturers. So German brands like Volkswagen, BMW, which is BMW, and Mercedes-Benz Group are facing intense competition from Chinese companies such as BYD. Chinese manufacturers are producing affordable electric vehicles at a pace that has challenged Germany's traditional dominance, particularly in the electric vehicle market. There has been layoffs that have been announced and restructuring, especially by Volkswagen. So several German automotive companies and suppliers have been announced cost-cutting measures, hiring freezes, and job reduction as they adapt to electrification, changing consumer demand, and global competition. The shift from internal combustion engines to electric drivetrains also means some traditional manufacturing roles are no longer needed. Are these layoffs temporary, or do they signal a permanent transformation of Germany's industrial workforce? I mean, the high cost of doing business in Germany, definitely. Manufacturers face rising costs from energy prices, labor, taxes, and environmental regulations. Some companies are investing more heavily in production outside Germany, where operating costs can be lower. The transition to electric vehicles has come as a major challenge to the car industry in Germany, and this has to be taken really with concern and seriousness. So Germany has invested heavily in electrical vehicle production, but challenges remain: slower than expected consumer demand in some segments, expensive batteries, for example, concerns about charging infrastructure, pressure to meet climate targets while remaining profitable. And we have to look at dependence on exports, because Germany is an exporting country. So it's a manufacturing country. Germany exports a significant share of its vehicles. When major markets such as China experience weaker demand, German manufacturers are directly affected. China has been one of the major consumers of German vehicles, and I think we have the most biggest plants, if I can use that word, or we have one of the biggest plants that has been producing vehicles, because they're a large consumer. And now that they are producing their own vehicles, we have to make a U-turn. But the question is to where? That is the question, because the world now is turning to China. Can Germany do something about this? And can the car industry think of which direction to change or to face or to take to challenge this new development? So factories have become more automated and software driven. Workers need new skills in areas such as battery technology, software engineering, artificial intelligence, robotics. All this raises important questions about retraining and long-term employment. Questions to ask that: is Germany still the global leader in automotive innovation? Why are some manufacturers reducing jobs despite strong brand recognition? Can German automakers compete with Chinese electric vehicles companies on price, for example? Should the German government provide more support to the automotive sector? Those are questions that we should ask, because there is need for us as Germans to save the industry. We cannot just let go. We cannot lose, because we have not lost. Permit me. What skills do young professionals need to succeed in the future automotive industry? These are key issues that must be answered. I believe that if we tackle these questions and answer them correctly and align them to the future, we will rise again tomorrow, because the answers lie, or the solutions lie within these questions. If we can look, there's always an alternative, and we can look at the other side of life, for example. That's what I can say. So if we look to the other side, I am very sure and I am very confident that the German industry will rise again, or it's still functioning, not that it is dead, but it will rise to the position where it was, and even better. Why do I say so? If China today, who was a very good consumer of our vehicles, realize that they don't need our vehicles, or they never needed them that much, and they came up with initiatives on how to supply. And China is like, as I know, is a nationalistic country, which means that they believe in consuming their own. They will first target their own products before they can go outside. And also, it's known for technology and all these things. And they have tackled almost every industry, from the designing, the clothing, the technology, anything you can think of now is being done in China. You cannot do business, you cannot do supply, you can do anything excluding China. It will be very tough. So I do understand that facing China as a competitor needs a mentality that is really built for such a resilient mentality. It needs professionals that know that we can do this. It needs a lot of changing mechanism that needs to be employed for us to see success. So we now maybe have to talk about, of recent, the CEO of Volkswagen announced that they will be doing a retrench of employees, laying off these 100,000 jobs. And I think I have a short clip to show here, just as to make sure that we are on the right track. I will allow us to see it.
Nach Informationen des NDR Niedersachsen sollen in den kommenden Jahren im Konzern weltweit bis zu 100.000 Arbeitsplätze wegfallen. Zuerst
And they also have possible closure of 4 German plants, reducing the number of vehicle models by almost half, and also lowering production capacity to cut costs. So these, I think, are mechanisms that they're employing to mitigate this problem. And why is that? Because according to the CEO, Oliver Blume, Volkswagen is facing fierce competition from Chinese electric vehicle manufacturers. Declining sales in China is an issue. High labor and energy costs in Germany, tariff and geopolitical uncertainty, expensive investment in electric vehicles. Sales are falling. Volkswagen recently reported a 8.6% decline in global sales, more than 1/3 drop in sales in China, which has traditionally been its biggest market. You can just imagine. China is no longer just VW's biggest customer, it has become one of its toughest competitors. People who consume your products today, tomorrow they might become your biggest competitor. So you always have to put in place a strategy, because you just never know whose idea is being birthed tomorrow. You have to be prepared for the future. So German workers are protesting as usual, and I have also, I think, a small clip to show you, if at all it will be available.
Stellen auf dem Spiel und 4 Werken in Deutschland droht die Schließung. Zur Stunde berät der Aufsichtsrat über die Sparvorschläge. Der Betriebsrat und die IG Metall haben die Mitarbeiter an allen VW-Standorten zu Protesten aufgerufen.
Mitarbeiterinnen und Mitarbeiter protestieren vor dem VW-Werk Emden. Eines, das es vielleicht in einigen Jahren nicht mehr geben kann.
The restructuring plans have sparked demonstrations by workers and the powerful union IG Metall. Workers fear plant closures, redundancies, long-term decline of manufacturing jobs in Germany. And I can assure you, we have a lot of warehouses that comes in for almost every company here. They are doing manufacturing, because Germany is an export-based country. We are not used to import. We import, definitely, but we are used to be the ones to sell. Like all the time when I'm traveling to Berlin, or I'm going to wherever I'm going to, you will always see, these trucks or vehicles, like these transporters carrying a lot of, it's either Nissan or Volkswagen or BMW, or they are carrying Porsche, or they are carrying whichever you can think of. So these are the ones, like, you meet them all the way, and it will tell you that here they really are into the car industry big time. Yeah. So it's not only Volkswagen, the challenges extend the sector. Reports indicate that Mercedes-Benz is implementing major cost-cutting measures. BMW has warned about financial pressures. Automotive suppliers are also restructuring as demand changes and the transition to electric vehicles accelerates. So this whole electric vehicles has come at these expenses that we are paying. Is there anything we can do as a government, as the people, as Europe, as the lover of the German brands? So why does it matter to discuss the Chinese vehicle, for example? Chinese manufacturers such as BYD now produce cheaper electric vehicles. Should we go cheaper? Are we able to sustain if we do? Competitive battery technology. So technology is something that we are not able to catch up. Not as German, I mean as the world at large. Why? Because it's evolving every day. You wake up, something new has been discovered. And I believe that if you are in an industry, a tech industry that requires technology, you always need to think probably 10 years ahead from today. Otherwise, you will not be able to survive tomorrow. And I think that, personally, in my opinion, I think that the German car industry is facing this problem possibly because they were just a heavyweight for a long time, and they took it probably for granted. I don't want to sound harsh, but I think like they were too comfortable, and in that comfort zone, their friends now emerging as big competitors were busy planning, and while they were relaxing because they felt like they had arrived, we are the biggest producers of these wonderful and marvelous movable vehicles or objects, I would call them. And so sometimes relaxation or contentness or just feeling fulfilled when you know that you're an industry that keeps moving can be a little bit dangerous or very it can reward you in a bad way, like negatively in the long run. So, German manufacturers built a reputation on engineering excellency, but they are now competing with companies that often move faster and produce at a lower cost. So, I don't know if we can manage to produce at a lower cost. I can't say that. I don't know how we are going to survive. Probably I know that specialists know better, maybe. I do know that it's a phase. So, these recent German language reports cover the latest developments. So we have to ask ourselves as Germans, as consumers of these vehicles, has Germany fallen behind China in the electric vehicle race? Are high wages and energy costs making Germany less competitive? Can Germany remain an automotive powerhouse without sacrificing jobs? We need people to work, to get paid. But are we able to sustain it? Is artificial intelligence reducing the need for workers in manufacturing? What does this mean for young engineers and skilled workers? Should the German government intervene to protect the automotive industry? So, I would like to state in my closing remarks of whatever I've stated here, because it came as a concern, and that's why I thought we really needed to tickle this topic a little bit and awaken ourselves. So, in my last remarks, I have to mention that Germany's automotive industry has overcome major challenges before, and this moment is another opportunity to evolve. By embracing innovation, investing in electric mobility and digital technologies, upskilling the workforce, and strengthening collaboration between industry, government, and workers, Germany can remain a global automotive leader. While the road ahead may be difficult, resilience, adaptability, and a commitment to excellency have always defined German engineering. The industry's next chapter will not be written by the challenges it faces today, but by the bold decisions it makes for tomorrow. And I have one closing recommendation and one closing suggestion for a German car consumer, for a German citizen, for a European lover of the German brand. We don't have to look down on this industry because it's crumbling today. We have to be supportive because this is the industry that has made us move from one point to A to point B. I know there is not so much we can do as citizens citizens, but there is something you can do as a German citizen, as a European citizen. When you think of buying a vehicle, buy a German vehicle. By so doing, that drop of sand effort that you do contributes massively to these job losses that are going down. And let's talk, let's learn, and let's grow. Till next time, goodbye.